I want to bring in the President-elect's Communications Director right now, Jason Miller, joining the conversation. Good to see you, Jason.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, you guys are moving at warp speed in terms of filling these positions.
Yeah. Well, we're excited. Rex Tillerson for Secretary of State, the CEO of ExxonMobil. Very impressive gentleman, and that's, I think, one of the greatest and most recent picks of the President-elect.
It's an incredibly savvy pick, and Donald Trump explained the decision in a tweet this morning. The thing I like best about Rex Tillerson, he wrote, is that he has vast experience at dealing successfully with all types of foreign governments. Also this morning, Fox sources are telling us that they are confirming that Rick Perry is Trump's pick for Energy Secretary. Jason, how has this all come about? How did Rex Tillerson get into the mix?
Well, it was actually Bob Gates who recommended that the President-elect sit down with him. And from their very first meeting, the President-elect was just blown away by Rex Tillerson. This man is so impressive, the way he's worked all around the world, whether it be in Russia or the Middle East or China, in Africa. There isn't an area of the world that he hasn't sat down and figured out business deals about how to go and work with people to get things done. And quite frankly, that's what we need. That's what we're going to be doing. Yep. It's actually making these deals. There are far too many people that right off the bat that the previous administration and other administrations have been wiping off the table and say these guys are going to be enemies. If we can find ways to work with people, as we talk about defeating radical Islamic terrorism or defeating ISIS, we should be looking where we can work with countries to get things done. And the other thing, too, is we talk about restoring America's standing in the world. We have to be able to sit down and have these relationships. And that's one of the great things about Rex Tillerson. Is he has these relationships, whether it be with finance ministers or business people around the world. Heck, you look at some of these different countries where governments and administrations and regimes have come and gone, but the business leaders that he's
But that's where some of the concern is too, right, Jason, is his relationship with Russia and his ties with to Vladimir Putin.
But here's one of the things, is he's actually stood up and said no to Vladimir Putin, as we talk about particulars within specific deals, but he's also been someone who's been able to work with people, and that's, I think, something that America hasn't had. We haven't had someone on that world stage who can work with people to get things done. And again, I had the opportunity last night to speak with Rex we spoke for about an hour on the phone, and going country by country and region by region. His knowledge, his in-depth understanding of the geopolitical systems and the people, the fact that he spent so much time in places like Yemen and Southeast Asia. I mean, this guy really knows his stuff.
But he has received the Order of Friendship from the Kremlin. He's expressed in the past opposition to sanctions on Russia. Those are things he's going to have to address during his confirmation hearing. How is he going to respond?
Well, a couple of things on that. First of all, the Order of the Friendship. I mean, that's gone to everyone from the former Prime Minister of Canada to a former NBA coach to bishops and people like that. It's more of a ceremonial thing. But when we talk about someone like Rex Tillerson, I mean, keep in mind, let's talk about some of the people whose support that he has. We've seen positive comments from Condi Rice and Dick Cheney. We talk about people who no one would say that they're soft by any stretch. They understand that someone like Rex Tillerson has these relationships, and really it's better than someone who's been, say, an international bureaucrat over the past 10, 20, 30 years. He's someone who's actually been out there working with the people who make things happen in these different countries.
You know what I like about it is that, as Donald Trump would say, Rex Tillerson has dealt with some bad hombres. Okay? He has had to deal with some, dictators just to get access and entree into their countries to drill, right? So he knows where the tough spots are.
Well, and the other thing, too, is he understands the issues of safety and security and radical Islamic terrorism. You talk about going into some of these regions where, quite frankly, there are hot spots and there's some pretty scary places. And the fact that you have to look out for your own people, you got to make sure that your people are taken care of. And if we have instability in areas that are falling into chaos, I mean, he understands what that does to the people there and how that hurts people.
Are we going to see a softening on Donald Trump's view on climate change? Or I shouldn't say a softening. Are we going to see his views change? We've been talking this morning about the fact that Rex Tillerson, as CEO of ExxonMobil, has acknowledged the science behind climate change. He supports a carbon tax. He's been open about expressing support for the Paris Climate Change Agreement. Donald Trump hasn't shown that he believes in climate change or supports a carbon tax.
Well, I think what we're going to see is the President-elect very much cares about the environment and obviously wants to make sure that we're leaving on to the next generation beautiful land and clean air and water and everything. But we're also going to make sure that we don't get into the silly science and go and try to destroy our economy, which I think far too many people on the left have tried to do. I think we're going to see a real smart economic first growth ideas from the President-elect.
Well, I think we see this. I think we see this in how he's selecting his cabinet. He listens, he learns, and then he leads. And I think that's a wonderful trait to have in the president-elect. Number one.
It shows a real sophistication.
It does. I mean, if you just look at the way he expanded the candidate slate for Secretary of State, he made sure it was all-encompassing. He looked at a variety of different talents and intellects, and I think he made an excellent decision. I think, you know, the world that Rex will deal with, they know the measure of the man. He knows them. They know him. Again, we've had 8 years of professional politicians in that position. And where has it gotten?
Political operatives.
Yeah.
Well, and as we talk about Rex's reputation on the international stage, it's one as a tough negotiator.
Yeah.
He's one of the toughest negotiators out there. And if the worst thing that someone can say behind your back is, man, this guy's really tough at the negotiating table, that's what you want.
It's really funny because you talked about Bob Gates was the introduction for Rex Tillerson to Donald Trump. And in his statement this morning, he says, I strongly endorse the president-elect's selection of Rex Tillerson. The last sentence of his statement references back to him being an Eagle Scout. I know this Eagle Scout will be a global champion of the best values of our country.
Tillerson quotes the Boy Scouts.
Nice.
Yeah.
The mantras
big
of the Boy Scouts frequently.